T-minus 27 hours for the visit. I'm quite excited. I've been doing a bit of shopping this morning, preparing for the visit, because I'm going to make a cake tomorrow, and we're eating out in the evening, and then on Friday I'm going to cook. So I needed to get some shopping for that. I was watching a Zoe podcast the other day, and they were talking to somebody called Jen Stevens, who has written several books, one of which is called Fast, Feast and Repeat. And I started to dig around and look and found her group. There's a community group that you can join, and I joined the group because we've been fasting for 7 years, and as many of you can tell, we're not really losing weight. When we started it, we lost weight, and what I discovered yesterday in the group was that it's very likely that our bodies have adapted to how we fast. There's lots of information. Her book's really interesting. Lots of information to how your body will adapt, because your body, the idea that your body wants you to be the weight that you are. If this is your normal weight, or if this is how you are over a period of time, your body works hard to maintain that. So you can start fasting and lose weight, but your body will work against you to get you back to what it believes is your optimum weight. Bastard. So I talked to her yesterday. So it's a smallish, not a smallish group, but she does admin and she does talk on there. And she said to me yesterday that it's probably that we need to tweak our fasting times and reduce the size of our window. For years, our eating window's been 8 hours, which actually, how long's an eating window if you're just eating normally? I hadn't really thought of that. So a normal eating window is 8 hours. So we start at midday and finish at 8. We're not eating for all of those 8 hours, but they're the times in which we can eat. She suggested that we needed to look at reducing our window. So yesterday, we stopped eating at 6, and what caused there was a bit of a outpouring of unsolicited advice on Facebook, because I wrote a post about I'd been looking forward to my Marmite on toast. It was going to be my last meal for several hours, and I thought I'll have Marmite on toast, forgetting that my Marmite supply hasn't been replenished yet. So when I got to put my toast in, went to get the Marmite, and the jar was empty, and it was devastating. I know it's a first world problem, but it created a bit of a stir on Facebook. People very concerned that we were going to reduce our window down to 4 hours, so that we weren't going to eat for 20 hours and only eat during a 4-hour period. That always happens, and the risk of making this vlog is that I'll get lots of unsolicited advice. And so what I need to tell you now is that I take advice when I've gone and looked for it. That's the way I work. I'm not a person that will actually engage with advice you give me. And once I decide on a path, I stick to that path. Hence 7 years on this path, because it suits us, it works. I can't imagine doing it any different. I can't imagine having breakfast every day. Now and again I'll have something, but rarely. But I can't imagine having breakfast every day. So I've been doing this for 7 years. So I do stick to, when I decide to do something, I stick to it. And if you come along and tell me that I'm wrong, or come along and say, oh, you should be doing this, or you ought to, I just switch off. Because what happens is, and what is happening on Facebook, is that you start to get, I feel overfed. I think that's really important for people that want you to have what they've got, is they sometimes can overfeed you. And I don't like being overfed by people. I can overfeed myself if I want. I don't like being overfed by people. So just so you know, don't write down underneath here what you think I should do, because I know what I think I should do. I've looked at what I think I should do, and I'm doing it. So So that's that. I've been out doing stuff, getting the shopping, as I say. I bought these plants. I didn't create them, just in case anybody thinks I've got green fingers. I've moved the geraniums over to the front of the door because they've not got much in the way of flowers on them now. They'll pick up again and they'll flower again. So I've moved them they're under the wisteria now over by the door. So they'll look pretty. But I just thought I wanted a bit of a change up here. They didn't have three purple ones, so I had to buy the pink one. I would have bought three all the same, but whatever. Looks pretty. So I've done that. The other thing was that I was quite shocked and disappointed the other day to discover yet another Brit immigrant to France had voted to leave the European Union. It just shocks me every time. It's like, you're living in France, but you voted to leave, and you've left all of those British people dealing with the consequences, of which there are many, and you're living under European law in France. That doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. And it just frustrates me. And I don't have the words. When somebody says that, when some immigrant, English, British immigrant, says that they've done that, I'm lost for words. Because I think, where do you begin? Where do you begin to unpack that? And you can't. It's a little bit like the unsolicited diet advice. Is that person that voted that way has switched off to any other idea or ideals. I know that. And you could say the same of me. I've switched off to looking at or believing any Brexit benefits, but I just get lost for words. But I am always stunned, and I wonder how many other British people living it. Well, I know that there's a couple that run a restaurant near here. I discovered that they also voted Remain, and yet they're running a business here. It's like, somehow it's like, I'll have these bits, I'll take those bits, but I don't like you really. I don't believe in what you're doing. I don't follow your ideals, but I'll have this bit because it suits me. It's really wrong, isn't it? It's really arrogant. I just can't believe it. So that was a bit of a shock. So this is iced water. I had my coffee 4 hours ago, my first coffee. And whilst I was driving around, I was looking forward to my second coffee, which I should never have before I go out, so I didn't. So I thought, I'm going to do this, I'll do that, I'll just get that done, and then I'll have my coffee. And then I thought about it, and I thought, actually, I could delay my coffee and have it later, and I should hydrate, and I'll have some iced water. And something that somebody did say to me yesterday that she'd also shown me several years ago reminded me about Barbara O'Neill, who did a video about salt and water, which I agreed with. Some people might not, but I agreed with. So with this pint of water, I've taken a few grains of salt as well, proper sea salt, not the salt that you get in a packet. I can't remember what it is, but that's not good for you. But sea salt is good for you. So I've taken the salt, I'm drinking the water, feeling dry. And we'll have my coffee a little later. Oh, the good thing about this is that if you have the salt, apparently it helps your cells absorb the water rather than you peeing it out. Well, I definitely need that, so I'm up for experimenting with that. So that's today. I'm loving this weather. It's nice. It's autumnal. It's comfortable. It was quite cool this morning. No fans on in the bedroom. The aircon machines have gone away. Bit of a breeze. Bit of a cat running over. What are you doing? Huh? What have you been doing? Yeah, so it's lovely. Yeah. looking forward to tomorrow and the next day, and watch this space, watch me not shrink, because my experience of many, many, many diets over the years is it makes no fucking difference. But I do have faith in this because it did before. So, and I'm on steroids, and the problem with being on steroids is it makes you hungry, and it blows your face up and everything. Oh, and the other thing was, I don't weigh myself, rarely weigh myself, because it's punitive, isn't it? Why weigh yourself if you know that you're too big? Why would you weigh yourself? But I weighed myself yesterday, so I had a starting point for this change, and actually was 5 kilos lower than I thought I was. Was it 5? Yeah, 5 kilos lower than I thought I was, which was really nice. Like, wow, because I don't feel 5 kilos lower than that. That's the thing. It's like I feel as big as I have been. I don't feel that over a period of months that I've lost any weight, but I must have. And when I was coming away from shopping today, I realised that for the last 2 or 3 weeks, the bread we've been eating is homemade bread. Whereas before, if we were eating bread, it was baguettes. And baguettes, French bread, is really not good for your weight. It's high on the glycemic index. So that might have made a difference. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for today. And I'll see you maybe tomorrow. I'll probably see you tomorrow before my sister comes, because I haven't really got a lot to do apart from make a cake. So yeah, see you tomorrow.